Ever since we started learning about linguistics, what's your favorite part of it?
I personally prefer semantics. Semantics is the study of meaning in a language. It's about understanding the meaning of words, phrases, sentences, and how language is understood by us.
But how is semantics relevant to you on a daily basis?
I found it relevant to me because I found myself applied semantics in my daily life. As a student, actually when we are reading notes or doing notes, semantics is applied there. As sometimes we need to understand some word in order to understand the whole sentence. One example of semantics could be point of view is a way or a reader perspective to understand the story. This statement is quite specific because of the arrangement and meanings of its words.
Ah, I see what you mean there.
It's easy to communicate because the words arrangement are in correct order. Semantics can interpret information accurately, navigate various situations, and plays a crucial role in shaping how people express, interact, and comprehend with the world.
Wow, honestly, I agree as well.
Well, what's about your favorite part of linguistics?
Well, my favorite part is personally just the language variety in general. I loved learning about it, especially when it came to dialect. It was so relatable to me because I used to grow up moving around a lot, and it's so important to adapt to new environments and get familiar with the dialects and even the slangs. Like, I lived in and out of the city in Kuching, and every area had its own specific dialect, although most of the area they spoke the same language. For example, if you go to Simunjan, the Iban is actually very different from Iban Serato. Although some words carry the same meaning and may be similar, they are pronounced differently.
Wow, that's so interesting.
And I noticed it's also the same for when I went to Penang. Compared to Kuching, there were different slangs and there were obviously different dialects being used most of the time. Especially when it came to slang, I think it was like growing up, every area had its own cultural slang, but I think as time passed by, I used a lot more internet slang, which I thought was very interesting that it was applicable to almost everyone of my age.
So, how does learning linguistics impact you?
Learning linguistics definitely impacted me in a sense that there's more to adapting when it comes to speaking than just relying on accent. I used to just pull like a copy paste in terms of accent and slang, but then I realized that it required more details into the language and the dialect that I was having to be accustomed to regarding different areas.
That's an interesting choice. I totally agree with your point about the differences in dialect when it comes to Kuching and Penang. I noticed that too.
I know, right?